Hey everyone, it's Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy, and if you are just hopping onto this video and didn't see the previous video, this is part 2 to my Country Craft Creations design team project for my Paper Rose Wedding Blooms album. I can't even say mini album because it's big, but this is part 2, so if you have not done part 1 yet or seen it or even the walkthrough, I would hop over to those videos. They are linked in the description box below. But we are going to get started back up finishing the second half of the album. And I think I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to give you guys the measurements of the rest of the paper just right here, and any scoring that we need to do together, I'll do it at that time when we get to, you know, that part. But for page 2, we have our basic base in here already. We are gonna need a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 photo mat. Sorry, I have the hiccups now. And I just attach these with, you can glue like one side and then do magnets here. I put magnets on all 4 corners and did it like that. And then on the inside, you will need just this piece again from your scraps. That is 3 inches by 6 7/8. And just do a dry fit. It's gonna go in just like that, nice, easy breezy. And then inside that pocket is, I mean, this is pretty much done here, is a 5 by 7 photo mat and then a 5 1/2 by 7 1/2 photo mat, again, because these are pieces I had on my table. So that is just going to go in there like that. And again, this will eventually close this up like that. So I mean, like I said, this is pretty much done. This pocket I just glued on 3 sides, and I just put magnets on the back here. And then for the back of page 2, we will do this together. But for the flap, it is 7 3/8 by 9 1/2, and then we scored at a 1/2 inch just up there. And then you will also need a photo mat for this one, which is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and they'll go right on the front of this. And then you'll need 2 of these. So I just like to hold it here for those who do like to take pictures. But this is our pop-up page. So you need 2 pieces that are 8 3/4 by 8. We are going to come score this together, so don't worry. Just get your cuts. So that's going to be for page 2. Then for page 3, which I love, this is all we need for page 3. A 5 1/4 by 7 1/4 photo mat if you want it. You don't have to have it. And then a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 photo mat. And then this little scrap that is 2 1/2 by 5, where I scored at a 1/2 inch and then 1 1/2, just because. I don't even know why I did this, but I just was like, oh, let me attach some things differently. This is it for page 3, which is nice. Now for the back beast, the back inside cover. You are going to need, this is going to be our large flap. So it's 8 7/8 by 12. We will come score this together. I just figured I should give you guys all the cuts just now so you can get it out of the way and pause the video and get to cutting. And then 4 by 10, we're going to score at 5 on the 10 side. This is a booklet. You will need a little scrap that is 1 by a little bit less than 2 inches and score it down the middle for a hinge. Photo mats, we have 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, 5 by 7, 6 by 8, just to be weird again, and then a 7 by 9 1/2. So those are all just photo mats. So you have that. And then for the inside of all of that, and we will do one of these together, I should say. You will need 2 of your 6x12s. No, 1 6x12. This is the belly band. And again, I did it where I didn't waste paper, so I just scored at 1 and 11. And then you will need 8 of these, 8 6x12, and score just right down the middle at 6 inches. If you don't want to use up this much paper or have this much bulk in the back, I have an option for you. You can just do 6 by 6.5 and score at a 1/2 inch on this 6.5 side to create your waterfall and have 8 of those. So it'll just be a single waterfall instead of like a booklet waterfall. And then you will need for hinges 8 of these, 1 by a little bit less than 6. Okay, and then lastly, is you will need 3 large inserts. And I have 2 different sizes on here. So if you're using the border punch like I did, like this, you're gonna want your paper to be 7.5 by 9.5 and then recut once you've punched. So that way you make sure you have what you need. Otherwise, just do 7 by 9.25. Okay, so let's get the party started. So set this all aside. Once you've come back after doing your cuts, we're gonna do page 2. I just scared myself. I was like, did I push record? Okay. So we're setting stuff aside. So right now we have our flap that we're gonna glue in the book. This is on the back of page 2 because the front of page 2 is done. If you guys have questions, let me know in the comments, but that's literally all we do. I might come back and show you maybe how to put the magnets on, if I remember. But this is for the back of page 2. Okay, and dry fit first, and we're good. This other pop-up element, it looks hard, but it really isn't. But I would practice with, like, you know, cheapy paper first, because you also have to put down your pattern paper before you put in your pop-up. So just FYI on that, I would practice outside of that first. So we have that in. Nice burnish. Okay. So we're going to set this aside again. We're just going to keep setting this book aside while we're doing our elements. So we have our one piece here. We're going to score it. So with the 8 3/4 across the top, you are going to, so make sure you follow along. You're going to score at 3/4. Wait, let's do 4 first. Turn it with the 8 going across the top. This makes it easier. 8 across the top. 4 inches. That's the only score. 4 inches on that side. Then turn it to the 8 3/4. Score at 3/4 of an inch. 1 1/2. And this is going to be where it's 2/4 down to that 4-inch score line. Come over to the 7 1/4 and 8. Then we're going to turn it upside down like so and do a score line again at that 2 1/4 mark down to that 4. So just to show you guys again, like what your score should look like. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. We're going to cut this one out and we're going to cut this one out. And you do that for both pieces. So we're just cutting these out. I'm going to cut through, then cut all the way through. You guys see that? To that first score line there. So we cut all the way through, come over here, do the same thing. Cut this one out. And cut all the way through. Like so. Now you are going to fold these all up on all the score lines. Kind of create these little boxes. So we're just folding them on. You're going to do the same thing to the other one too, which I will do here in just a second. But they should then look like this here, just like that. And I'll do the same thing to this one. I want to do it here because you have to cut out where the third one is. Through. Same thing with this one. Cutting down to that 4. And then cutting through. Okay, so we have those all cut. And we're going to burnish just like we just did. All the score lines. I really think this would be pretty in that Christmas paper. Just saying. Okay, so we have 2 of the same shapes, and I might have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to reverse this because you don't want them going the same direction. So all I'm gonna do is reverse. It's okay. We're reversing it the other way. So you want them opposite directions. So right now we have it like this. This is what it should look like. So I'm gonna temporarily put mine in because again, we should be putting decorative paper down first. So I'll just show you guys how I did this, and you could do yours. So it opens up on that one. Got that flap there. Shift everything over. Okay, so make sure you guys can actually see. So we have our seam is here. So the best way to do this is I'm folding all of this over, and you could just test this first, but you're gonna bump this bottom all the way up to the seam that's right there, and then you glue that in, but only on, Hold on. Let me make sure I'm doing that right. I gotta now look at it because I don't want, nope, it's gonna have to go the other way. I know. Yep. I'm just figuring it out for myself here. Talking to myself. Okay. Don't do it like this. Do it like this. Okay, like that. So it'll go like this. And I just centered like top and bottom. I didn't look at this side because I'll show you in just a sec. So let's put some temporary on there. But see how I always do a dry fit just to make sure I'm doing stuff right. This is not wanting to go on there very good. What's happening here? Not liking all the bumps in the book. Goodness. It was not liking that, that's for sure. Okay, so again, just kind of eyeballing it, but I'm going up to that edge. I'm going to fold that up, make sure it still folds. And what did I do? I gotta make sure I did this right. Yeah, they all fold in. These fold in. Just watch me before you guys do it. I don't know what I'm doing over here. Ooh. Eventually I do. But that's why we do dry fits. Okay. So we have that right now. We're gonna see if that will stay with that temporary. We're gonna do the same thing. So again, just dry fitting, but we want these to be out. Just like this here. So only one little section is showing. Put your adhesive on the ends. Just make sure you practice just with some cheapy paper on something else. Took me like, well, I had to do a prototype, so it took me a minute, but, and I'm gonna bump this one now up against that one. You just don't want to go over your fold. And then you just hope it all works. I'm gonna show you guys just a second here, because you have to glue these two together. I'm just hoping this temporary will stay for the moment. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to gently fold this over and fold this one over. Now what I did, see that temporary is coming up, is I did take like, 2 clothespins or little clampies and clamp these together. I don't know if let me see if I can find the little clamps. Let's try these for the momento. So I glued them together and then I pinched them closed so that they, glued together. But then when you close it, it moves how it's supposed to. Okay, so you just work it. And when you open, because you glued those two together, it will pop. It's gonna all pop up, but it'll pop up like it's supposed to. Can you guys tell? Oh my gosh. Okay, so it really is easy. You just have to play with it a little bit. Okay, so there is 2. Now 3, we did nothing. This is how easy 3 is. 3, you already have a flap. Oh, and this one goes on the front here. I mean, you guys can put photo mats wherever you want. So just know, you don't have to follow this if you don't want to. Okay, so we have a photo mat in here, because why not? When it's like weddings, I like to have big spots for feature photos. So there's that. And then this strange little piece, again, I just had a scrap and I was like, oh, let me try something. So we scored at 1/2 inch and then 1.5. I'm gonna miter the corners on both ends. I don't know why I did it like this. Just go with it. Just roll with it. Just sometimes I try new stuff for no apparent reason. So I only fold this side. I use the other side as a gauge of where I want to, I gotta do this upside down, of where I want to put my photo mat on. So it was just a different way to do a flap. The struggle is real. Keep moving my glue. So this just gets glue on it. And I left it open. Okay. Okay. Like this so I could see. So I'm just going up to that score line, but centering this piece somewhat. It's not quite centered, but it's good enough. Can you guys see that? A little crooked. So it looks like that. And now this hinge we're going to glue down to our book. And just in the center. And I did a magnet as well on these. You don't have to do a magnetic closure. You don't have to do any type of closure if you don't want to. You could do a ribbon tie closure, all of the above. So I am coming up a little bit just from the spine, or the hinge, spine. Making sure it's burnished really good. Okay, so that just creates a little, just a different closure. And magnet, like so. So now that is done. Let's get this. So at least page 3 was really easy. You can see where I was like, okay, I'm done. Done with the creativity. Okay, so for the back, we're gonna do this piece. So set your book aside. Let's score, because I'm gonna have to remember how I put this together anyways. So I'm gonna turn it this way, but we are going to score at 1/2 inch with the 8 7/8 going across the top, all the way down. So 1/2 inch and 1 inch all the way down, and then turn it, and it's either 10, or if you turned it this way, it would be at 2, whichever way, it doesn't really matter, whichever end you want. Okay. But I do keep one of the hinges here. So we're just going to cut. And cut. And we're going to miter. I'll show you guys what this looks like in just a sec. Miter this first score and miter this one. Okay, so here is what we have so far. Can you guys see? I don't know if you can see, but it looks like this so far. And this is going to be a pocket. So you should have that little piece that I said to do that was a little bit less than 2 inches tall, but 1 inch wide for, where's mine? Hold on. I must have dropped mine somewhere. There you are. It's hiding from me. So this piece right here, we're going to use as a hinge and just miter the corners if you want to. So we scored it in half. We're going to add it to this piece right down here, and I mitered backwards. What a goober. What a goober. Okay, hold on, let me grab another one. How many times I call myself a goober today? It's okay, it's just scraps. Just scraps. Okay, so we need 1 inch by a little bit less than 2. And don't cut your corners the wrong way. So I'm just going to fold this in half. Okay. Now, what did Tiffany do? I did it the wrong way. Don't do it again. It's getting late. It's getting late. Okay. So we're just going to stick this down to, I have to lift it up so I can see it because I'm standing up crafting. Okay, so we have that on there now. Fold your pocket up. Did I cut a pocket for this? I feel like I didn't cut a pocket. I think I might have missed my middle pocket. Okay, so that is now going up. We're gonna glue this. I mean, everything that's inside the pocket is all photo mat, so it's really easy. It looks hard because it's a lot of stuff. Okay, so let's fold this one first. And you guys will find out if the 1/2 inch is better than the original 1/4 inch. We're gonna find out together. Okay, so now it looks like this here. We're gonna put this in our album. I do think I might have missed a cut on the pocket, but we'll find out. So, and do a dry fit. And I want that up in the corner for sure. Okay. Come all the way over to the edge of your cover. Check top and bottom before you give it a good burnish. Make sure you're not overlapping, and burnish down. Get a nice good seal. Okay, so bump that back into place, and let's see. Yep, I did not cut the pocket. So, hold 1 sec again, because we need a middle pocket. And that middle pocket is 3 by something. hold on, 3 1/4 by 8 7/8. 3 1/4 by 8 7/8. 3 1/4. And then we're going to score a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Okay. 1/2 inch. Can you guys see? Nope, can't see what I'm doing. 1/2 inch. And a 1/2 inch. Now we're gonna measure this to see if I actually have the measurement correct. Before we, yep, we are good. So we are gonna miter the corners. And maybe I'll write it down real quick so you guys, if you need to take a picture. This is middle pocket. Just checking to see if you guys can still see me. Middle pocket through what is this, 8 and what did I say, 8 3/8? Nope, 8 7/8. 8 7/8 wide by 3 1/4 and score at 1/2 on 3 sides. Okay, so it'll look like that. We're gonna miter the bottom. Fold the sides only. We're just using the bottom as a guide. So dry fit first. And voila. Does that fit? Got it. Yep, okay. Put your glue on. To make sure I got it in there straight. There we go. Okay, so now you put your photo mats in like that. Which we had lots of photo mats. So you had your 6 by 8 went in there, your 5 by 7. Then we had a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 that went on its side. Then we had this one that was 4 by 10 and we scored at 5 inches. So right in the middle. That goes in here. And I did put a magnet on here, but you don't have, you could do what I just did just now. It could tuck in there. So just have fun with it. Then for the back, for our belly band, so we have this, we scored at 1 and 11. We're just gonna miter these corners, these big giant corners over here. Okay. And fold. And do a dry fit. And remember, if you don't have as much of the collection as I did, you can supplement with solids. So just, you know, as options, or other pattern paper that has like the same colors. But I did have 1 pack of all of the things. So 3 packs of the 12 by 12, the different things, 3 packs of the 6 by 6 of the different things. And I used stuff from all of them. I did use a lot of paper. So we're just going to center this. Get our top one on first. And that way if it's wrong, or not wrong, but not where you want it, you have a minute to like lift one side versus trying to lift both. Oh, I can see mine is off a little bit, so I'm going to come down just a little bit. Okay, get off. Get off, get off, get off. I'm going to come down from the top just a little to even it out. Now, and I'm so hungry. I've been trying not to do all my snacking before this cruise because I want to snack on the cruise. I'm eating for sure. But whew, I am hungry. Okay. There we go. So we have that. Then you have your large photo mat, which I think I punched the corners as well. Again, this isn't something you need to do. And then we're going to do our waterfall, and that is pretty much the end of it. So we have that. So now the waterfall, which I'm going to stick this in here so we can see what we're doing. All it is 8 of these 6 by 12s, fold it in half. Now what I do is you have your little gussets, your little hinges that you're going to put on each one of these. So I just started from the top. I've already made 7 of them, but I started from the top, opening one this way, then this one goes that way, and zigzagged it all the way. So my last one that I have right now is opening on the right, so I want this one to open on the left, so my hinge will go up here. And I do miter one side. Again, you don't have to. So which way is the 1/2 inch? Okay. So the side that is mitered is what I glued to my actual little waterfall folder. I can't even get the glue on the actual thing. So messy. Messy, messy, messy. Okay. So I know I want it to open this way. Just making sure again. Yes, so it's going to open this way. So I'm just flipping and putting my little hinge at that edge. Or you could do 4, you know, 4 at a time, going the same direction, then the other 4 the opposite direction. Okay. All right, so you could do what I've done before. You could close these up and make a pocket waterfall. So you could close up, like, just put a bead of glue here and here and do a pocket waterfall. So that's an option too. Okay, but we're going to just start gluing these down. And then we are basically done. I'm going to show you guys, oh, I put score tape on. I'm going to show you guys how I did the border punch at the end and then the magnets if you want to stay on to watch that. So I just start at the top of my waterfall. I cannot see what I'm doing way up there. So hopefully it's on there. We'll soon find out. And if I don't like it, I could rip the whole belly band off. Then I just start lining up my next one. Oh my gosh, I forgot I put score tape on. Okay. And get it up in there before it all gets stuck. Checking the sides. There we go. Give it a burnish. We have 2 of the 8 done. 2 of the 8. So again, just kind of pushing it up, bumping it up against the bottom of that one as best as I can. But you have to keep checking because they can get, you know, crooked a little bit. Like this one is a little bit. But it's okay. We're going with it. And bumping that up to the top. But I have to make sure it's straight, because right now we are not straight. It's easier to see that way. Okay, this one's off for some reason, so hold on. Just stay right there. There we go. And even if they're off a little bit, once you get all your paper and closures and embellishments on, you don't really see any of that. Or you could try to force your paper to not be off by recreating another score line. I just want to see the white writing. So that's all we're doing. Is just adding these all the way down. Like I said, this fits about 30 photos just right here. And these are 6 by 6, so these are good size spots for photos. Just keep burnishing, getting closer. Oops, that was a little crooked. It's all good. Writing. This is our last one that we just did. And we are done with that. So here is where you would want, so on mine, you could do a tie here and down here. I did mine underneath. I don't know why. I'm just showing you guys where I did mine. So this still, the top still opens while this is closed. And I was gonna do like a magnet on that side. I don't know. You could put it wherever. Wherever. Now let me show you guys. Let me grab some, I was gonna say some batteries. Some magnets. I'm telling you guys, I'm losing it. Losing it. Okay. It wasn't too bad. 2.5, what? Yeah, like 2.5 hours. So we have all that. I for sure did. You don't have to do the magnet here if you don't want to, and I don't know if I'm going to in my next one, so I'm gonna leave it off for now. But I just take my basic gray magnets that I got from Country Craft Creations, put it here on my flap, and then put it down, and that one's done. And then I did do on this one here, I would want a magnet like right here, but I'd do the big ones, but just so you know, to put one there. And then I did 4. Yes, 4. You don't have to do 4. It could be just 2. We could do 2. And I'm just pushing these out. And I just put them together. Okay. I do like to see where the other magnet like hits, so I could do not do the opposite. Again, I'm just rambling. You guys are, what are you talking about, woman? Basically, I don't want there to be resistance, is what I'm trying to say. I need to stop. It's getting late. Tiffany has issues. Did I even do that? No, I did not do that right. Okay, hold on. Hold on. It needs to be on this one first. Why does it want to go that way? That was weird. I'm putting this one on here first so I can make sure it's actually going to be on the page. Yeah, you might want to just like be done with this tutorial. I'm fading fast, people. Okay, so we have those. Is that gonna fit? Yes, that'll fit. So I just kind of eyeball the center. Have it on there. There we go. You could put Scotch tape over it if you want to. And then I think, oh, I did do one in there. So just gonna put my little magnet there. My ceiling frame, barely. Put that down. Okay, so that is that. Oh, and we have some magnets over here that I forgot about. And Then I'll show you guys just how I do the paper punching with the border punch. The new, I think they're WRM Memory Keepers punches. Yeah. They're a little bit, what do you call it? A little bit harder. Like you do have to put some oomph into punching them. And you definitely have to stand up. It's not one you could, I mean, you might be able to, but not one that I would want to just do, you know, like up in the air in my hands. So we have that. We're going to put that down. And I did, again, on my original, I had some little Tim Holtz ideology pulls from my stash. But you don't have to do, you could do anything. You could do little ribbon pulls. You could do no pulls. You don't have to do anything on it. But if you do have those and do it from your set, I just punched a hole and then screwed the two little things together. But there is our main part of the book. And then we have these 3 pieces here for the large photo mat inserts. And I did round, nope, do that last, the bottom, but we're going to do, so I used this lace punch here. And so I cut this to 7.5 by 9.5, which is bigger than what I want it to be, because I want to show you in a second. I love this lace punch. I think originally it was called an apron lace punch. I don't know if that's right, but I feel like that's what the Martha version was called. And all you have to do is match them up, just like so. And Artisan cardstock is a little thicker because it's like 87 pounds, so you got to give it a little oomph. Okay, so now we have this. I'm going to get my cutter out just to show you guys what I'm talking about. I mean, this is actually pretty even. But now I can cut it to where I want it, and I can make it, you know, even on the curve. So I want this to be 7 1/4. So I'm actually just going to cut off 1/8 on both sides, and it'll be somewhat symmetrical. So see how my little bumpity bumps are even, and then I take it down to 7 inches, and now I know that this is even and it will fit. And even if, I'm going to show you guys, I mean, even in the original, I don't have all mine even because I forgot to do that. But here, you could see, like, this one isn't completely even. It doesn't look bad, but it's not completely even. But now these just go in our book and we are done. That is that. So, sorry that it took 2.5 hours, but that's my usual pretty much for any big album. So just inserting these, and I would love if you guys are on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations on Facebook. Again, you have to answer those questions to join, and you want to join, I'm just saying. But if you do the project, please share so I could see. I love seeing the projects, even if they're done exactly the same or in different paper with a twist, whatever. I love seeing your guys' work, or tag me on Instagram so I can see it there too. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this project, this beast of a project. We are finally done, and that is a wrap. And I'll let you guys know if I'm gonna, well, you'll see if I end up doing this base in the actual Jolly, what is it, Jolly Holidays? Yeah, Jolly Holidays paper. But there you guys go. Thanks so much for watching. Happy crafting. Bye.